Greetings, my name is Wyston and I'm going to attempt to explain the game Nauticus, which is the new release from Wolfgang Kramer and Michael Kiesling, and it is done by Cosmos Games. It does not yet have an English translation of the rules. In Nauticus, you're trying to score the most points, which is of course a shocker for any Euro game. You're going to do so by building boats. In order to build boats, you need to purchase hull pieces, masts, and sails. In addition to building boats, you will load those boats with goods. Okay, there's coffee, wheat, fish, and salt. And when the boat is loaded, you can deliver those goods, which will give you points at the end of the game. In addition, at the end of the game, completed boats will give you points. You have to forgive me for the glare. You will score points both at the end of the game and during the game. In the one game that I have played, I scored about 60% of my points at the end of the game and 40% of my points during the game. Okay, in order to acquire things, you're going to manage resources. Those resources are workers and money, and you start out with $15 and 4 workers, and of course you don't start out with anything on your board. The game takes place over a number of rounds. In a 2-player game there are 4 rounds, and in a 3 and a 4-player game there are 5 rounds. Okay. During each round, this is a role selection game like Puerto Rico. So during each round, you're going to select a role. Okay, you will then do that role, and everybody else will follow. And similar to Puerto Rico, you will get a bonus when you select the role. The bonus is shown in this inner ring here. That item gets you a bonus of 3 workers. That gives you a free mast, a free sail, 2 victory points, 2 workers, a worker and a good, a worker and a point, or $4. Okay, so when I take this role, I select it, I'll slide that in, immediately take my reward, which can be used immediately, and then I will proceed to take this action. There are 8 types of actions. 4 are in light blue, and 4 are in yellow. The light blue ones cost money as well as workers to perform. The yellow ones only cost workers to perform. Okay. So when I take this action, you're given sometimes some number of free workers. You never receive them. They're just kind of virtual workers. If you don't spend them all, you don't get to keep them. Where the anchor is, you don't get any. But as you can see on some of the other spaces, there's a free worker, 2 free workers, 2, 2, 3, and 3. Okay. When you take this action, each time you use the action will cost you a worker. Okay, and the price, you're going to purchase components for your boat, the price is shown here. So this piece would cost you nothing, it's free. This piece costs you 1, this piece costs you 2, and this piece costs you 3. That is for the first time you buy a piece of a given flavor. You can buy as many pieces of that flavor as you would like, but the second piece of that flavor you purchase costs 4, always, independent of what the number is on top. So if I wanted to buy 2 of those pieces, that would cost me $4 and 2 workers. Okay, there's another spin on things, whereas if you buy all 4 different flavors, you get a free piece of your choice. Okay, and that does not cost you a worker. One of the golden rules in this game is explained in the rulebook, because whenever you get a piece for free, you have to put it into your logger, which is a warehouse. Okay, you have 12 spots in your warehouse, and every sail piece takes up a spot, every hull piece takes up a spot, every good takes up a spot, and the masts take up 2 spots. Okay, so this action space is using to buy hull pieces. When you buy hull pieces, you may set them down immediately or into your warehouse, depending on if you've paid money for it. Once you set a piece down, it can't move. And you can see a completed ship example right here, where it has 3 hull pieces, 3 masts, and 3 sails. Or a single ship which has 1 hull piece, 1 mast, and 1 sail. Okay. Completed ships. Some things that people tend to miss are, one is that the masts must all be identical flavors. There are 4 different flavors of mast, as well as a king's mast. And there are also, similarly, 4 matching types of sails and a king's sail. The king's sail, which is the crown, is a joker, can be used as any flavor you like. And as you can see, this is a completed ship, but it has matching pieces all the way through, as is that example and that example. Okay, so some of these actions you're going to use to buy hull pieces. These are used to buy masts, and you see these pieces will move over the course of the game, so their prices will vary. Here you have where you buy sails, and here's where you buy goods. When you buy goods, the non-free goods can be placed immediately under a hull piece. The boat need not be completed. Okay, you just need even a partial hull piece. So for example, I could just take this hull piece and put a good right underneath it like that. Okay, so these are the 4 purchase algorithms, and of course you need workers for every purchase you make. Okay. In addition, there are other things that don't cost you anything but workers. So this one right here, that is for every worker you use, you'll get $2. And you'll note that when you take it, you get 2 free workers. These are cubes that'll come in your supply. And then for every worker you spend, you'll get $2. And note there are 2 free workers right there. Now these free workers, every player gets to use. So whoever takes this action will at least get $4. And then I could supplement with my cubes to get more money if needed. That one's a little more complicated, but what this one does is that for every crown icon showing on your board, so whether it be a sail or a mast, or on the back side of one of these tiles, and we'll explain how you get that, every worker you spend, you'll get a point for each crown showing, up to a maximum of 15 per round. Okay, this one allows you to deliver your goods. Okay, when you deliver your goods, you must spend a worker for each good you deliver. You must have a fully completed boat in order to deliver the goods. And so this is a nice example right here where I could deliver these 2 fish and 1 coffee in order to gain victory points at the end of a game. The victory points you're given are shown by this scale, and so the idea is you want to deliver more of the same flavor of good. If you deliver 1 of that type of good, you get 2 points, 2 is 5, increasing up to say 5 where you get 20, or anything beyond the 5th one gives you 5 points. So if you delivered say 7, you would get 30 points. So in this example I have 14 points worth of coffee waiting for me at the end of the game. The last action is moving pieces out of your warehouse. It spends a worker per tile you move out. Remember, these things come in there if they're free, or if when you buy them you don't have a place to put them, things of that nature. Okay, 1 worker per thing. Okay, so that's basically the heart of the game. What we'll do is you will play a round through until you have done 7 of the 8 flavors of actions. On your turn, the leader will pick a roll, slide it in, get the immediate bonus, do that action. Then they will have or they can pass. If you pass, you turn over one of these things in your stack, 3, -2, -1, like so, and showing a crown, which can be used for a bonus, of course. But also, at the end of a round, if you haven't flipped these over, you will receive minus points. So in this example, I would receive -3 points at the end of a round if I hadn't flipped all of those over, that number over. Let's see. So, but on your turn, you'll select, the leader will select a roll, either do it or pass, and everybody else will either do it or pass, do it or pass, do it or pass. You get the idea. Until 7 of the 8 rolls are taken, then the round will end. What will happen is the first roll taken, we'll get an anchor piece put onto it. Then at the end of the round, you'll pick up all these tiles, you'll mix them, you'll place them down in random order going around starting from the anchor piece. And this wheel, which you see right here, will orient itself towards the anchor. So in this example, it would go here. At the end of a round, you'll do the minus points or when you didn't pass, and you will play until either 4 or 5 rounds, depending on the number of players. And then you'll sum up the victory points to see who wins. As you can see, for bigger ships, you get a lot more points than you do for smaller ships, 2, 8, 20, or 35. There's nothing bigger than a 4-size ship. Okay, and you've seen the scale for the goods right there. In the game that I played, I got around 50 or so points for my boats. I got about 20 points for delivered goods. and I got 40 points during the game. Also during the game, you have this tile, which you may expend at any point on your turn. What you do is you flip it over, and it enables you to take any one of the actions that are still on the board, not even still on the board. So, for example, I could take this action a second time to get more points, and this is the one exception to the maximum 15 points in a given round. I could get 15 points and then 15 points again with my extra action. Okay, or I could get more money, or whatever the case may be. I think the one thing that I haven't explained so far is what happens when you complete a boat. And when you complete a boat, you get a bonus. This is shown right here on your little player aid. For every mast in a completed boat, which is a hull piece, mast, and sail, for each piece, you will get a reward. That reward could be $7. It could be 3 workers. It could be a crown mast or a crown sail. It could be just straight up 3 victory points, or it could be 2 different goods, and different is important there. And of course, if you have a 4-size boat which you complete, you may take each reward up to a maximum of 2 times. So I could take $14 and 6 workers, or 6 points, and a crown sail and a crown mast, any combination really, but just up to a maximum of 2 apiece. So that is Nauticus by Wolfgang Kramer and Michael Kiesling. It's one of your standard kind of mid-weight Euros from this pair that many people have enjoyed a lot. I enjoyed it a lot myself, and I'm looking forward to playing it again. All right, cheers.